And a very pleasant good evening and welcome once again to sports.com. Jeff Stoynoff alongside Ryan. The Pirates take on the Moorpark College Raiders. Pirates continue 1-5, 0-1 in conference after a 36th last week. Meanwhile, the Pirates are 1-0 in conference, 5-1 overall, 23-10 right here at the VC Sportsplex. On Moorpark here tonight. Happy you've joined us here on SoCal College. Receive the opening kick and go on offense first. And for Moorpark offensively, some problems with injuries, and they come in here against a very aggressive and athletic Pirate against the Pirates, who defensively have had stretches of difficulty as well in some of our coverage so far this season. We'll see. Raiders back deep. Thank you so much again for joining us. A triple header on SoCal. Valley College in action against College of the Desert, College of the Canyon. St. Paul in California in action tonight at the 5, out to the 20, 25 to about the 28-yard line. Behind quarterback Ethan Postler Peterson to the 30-yard line. So it'll be Postler. Comes in completing 43 points, 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the season. Backfield, Archibald, along with Jeremiah Creation. Back duties this season, though the Raiders starting to weave in Alex T. Running left, up maybe a yard. Carlson among the leading tackle core. Carlson, Dondre Baker, Bradley Taylor in front of a very good secondary. Led by movement on the left side, and the Raiders going to back themselves up here. Expecting Ryan Wilmore shortly, and here he is. Settled. Former Raider. But you're going to set that aside tonight, I think. And always have 14 for the Raiders. They fake the pitch. Postler hangs in the air, but it's caught. Coulier comes in, and this may be 15 yards coming back. Coulier, the leading receiver, and then the flags came in.
Yeah, for the Raiders at least. But you can't be doing stupid stuff like a reception there.
Yeah, that was a ball. I wondered if maybe, but give Coulier a lot of credit. He was able to, and had some choice words to throw into the conversation. At 49. It's the Raiders who will have it at their own after the completion, and the penalty is assessed. And perfect game, and certainly it starts with not hurting yourself with some movement on the Pirates' defensive line, and they're going to let the play go. This should go against Ventura. Count there, I think, drawing the Pirates offside on that left side.
Put your quarterback in a tough position.
Dwayne Coleman, it looked like, jumped from his defensive end spot. 5 for the Raiders. Schedule for the Raiders, they get Canyons. Now they get Ventura. And Postler has Archibald in the deep. Now Postler to get the exchange to Archibald, who goes over his left guard. Some tempers flare after the play, and the officials maybe you're accustomed to seeing maybe on into the second half of a game, but then with a long history and that goes back a little bit.
The Moorpark captains refuse to shake hands with Ventura. They're looking to fight, whether it's between the whistles or after.
10, or should say 2nd and 5. Archibald trying to get the edge. Knifing in, trips up Archibald. 9 after a 4-yard loss. Call it a 5-yard loss. Well, Archibald comes in averaging 254 yards on the season with a touchdown, but he had a 13 yards. Sledding any easier. We'll talk a little bit. Obviously, you have years ago involvement. What kind of offense this pass is completed to Peterson, well short of the first.
But I mean, we've seen a spread set eye trying to power the ball up the field, go to play action.
Steven Gomez on to punt as the Pirates decide. Now they'll get the ball, and we'll see whether it'll be both quarterbacks this season. And in our conversation with Steve Mujake, says we're going to continue to make use of both guys. High snap drive kick, but it takes a good bounce for Moorpark. Still bounce inside the 20. That's a very dangerous play. Antonio Brown back there to receive that punt. That's going to end up being a who is seldom, if ever, wrong about this kind of thing.
It will.
And my God, he's right. Undoubtedly make the Raiders kick this one again after Gomez punt about 25 of those yards on the ground. But hey, take this punt. So maybe the Pirate coaches thinking decision by Antonio Brown to try and field that punt. Gomez.
Another flag.
Sin going to field this one at the 27, spun out of bounds on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We'll come back, sort out the flags in just a moment. So can you check it right now and tell me how it looks? We was looking okay. We're getting sort of weirdness on the. Okay. Thank you.
Third time's a charm.
Lots of our attention that we might keep trying to sort this out while we continue to continue to try and sort that out. Meanwhile, keep bringing in the game here. No score. All right, tell me if it's contact. All right, thanks. Welcome you back in the final one. Vanderjack came to the point. Some technical issues going moving forward. Okay.
Responded to radar 14.
Ball to the ground.
Recovery made by number 1, Jeremiah Gracious. Number 15.
And we hope that you are with us here in the first quarter. It's now 14-0 Ventura. Jordan with the reception for a touchdown, and the Pirates off to a very quick start here, leading 14-0. Again, our apologies. A little difficulty here, but we hope we have it sorted out. Going to cautiously move forward here. Going to try to bring this game to you if we can. Peterson on the return tries to cut it back at the 15, and he's down at the 17-yard line.
So Moorpark offense coming back on the field after back-to-back implosions in their first two drives.
And is the audio normal? All right. Thanks, man. Just keep me posted if anything goes wrong. Thank you. So the Raiders back on offense, trailing at 14-0, 6:56 to go here in the first quarter, and the Pirates off to a torrid start, as you would expect. More movement, and now Postler going to back off with plenty of time on the play clock. A touchdown rushing, a touchdown through the air for the Pirates. And the Raiders in an immediate hole. Handoff straight ahead. Nothing doing. A loss on the play. A host of Pirates in quickly.
Yeah,
no, sorry about that, Ryan.
Sorry, yeah, Moorpark's going to need to get something going on this drive because their sideline is dead at the moment.
Alex Tilley, who had 42 yards on 8 carries last week, was horse-collared there. Managed to get a yard. I'm not sure how he did that. Postler, short drop. And the pass well overthrown. An incompletion and an immediate 3rd and long for Moorpark, and as you would expect, it's been a mighty struggle on 3rd down this season. Just 21% conversions for the Raiders, and they face a 3rd and 9 and almost assuredly a Pirate blitz, one would believe.
Yeah, no reason not to send the house here if you're the Pirates.
When we talk about, you know, when it's fun for an offense, and this feels like the kind of time where it's kind of fun to play defense right now if you're on that Pirate defense, and get the feeling that they can go after the Raiders with impunity here. And timeout taken. And the Raiders want to talk this one over, trying to get something, anything going here with 6:16 to go in the first quarter, and the Pirates off to the quick 14-0 lead. Third and 9 for the Raiders from their own. Had the long completion to Couliard earlier here in the first quarter, and he comes back on the crossing pattern, and it's incomplete. Looking for Corso.
Yeah, you're not going to be close to a first down.
And here comes Gomez, who's having a busy first quarter already. And frightening thing if you're a Raider fan here is that the Pirates, the running game that they bring to the table against an overmatched opponent, just running behind that big, talented offensive line, can put up some numbers.
Yeah, and they're going to block another punt.
Gomez with the block punt. This team's touchdown for the Pirates. Gomez, and I should make this point, and this almost looked like a misprint to me coming in,
wow.
And obviously now we see with the second block punt of this first quarter that was no typo.
No.
And that obviously Stephen Gomez itself to taking some more time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you can put that on Gomez. Your line needs to – I know you don't have, of course, offensive line out there. You got mostly receivers and skill position players blocking, but you got to give a couple steps, a couple seconds time.
So the extra point up and good. And the Pirates pouring it on here early. And they now lead at 21-0. Let's keep it here, and the Raiders come out to receive already their 4th kickoff here in the first quarter, and that is not a number that you like to see if you're a Moorpark fan, with 6:07 to go in the first quarter. And, well, catch everybody up. 2 block punts, 1 return for a touchdown, along with a touchdown pass to Brandon Jordan and a touchdown run.
And a fumble recovery.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're Moorpark, you needed a perfect game, and unfortunately for Moorpark, this is about as imperfect as it gets in the first quarter.
Yeah, they came out and just immediately beat themselves.
So Hensey has it teed up. And the Raiders will get it back and try to go back to work. Again, they're looking for Peterson at the 5. Out to the 15, 20. Sheds a tackle, out past the 25 and taken down at the 28-yard line. Well, the original starter at quarterback was Bryce Viola. Is that what?
Viola, yeah.
Yeah, we're told, and he has been lost for the season. That presses Postler into action. But now also, I know that Postler has battled an injury or two, and so they're getting deep into the depth chart, but you begin to suspect that with these two teams, before it's all said and done, we're going to see a lot of the depth chart on both sides here tonight.
Yeah, the way things have started, it would appear so. Hey, at least we got a good view of the ocean here.
Indeed we do. Well, it's a perfect night for football, and you can be sure that the Pirates are enjoying it so far. Not so sure about the Raiders in this long-time rivalry. Well, you look ahead to next week, and we have coverage of College of the Canyons and Ventura from College of the Canyons. And, of course, College of the Canyons in action tonight here on SoCalCollegeSports.com, taking on East Los Angeles College. And you can follow along with that game and tune in there with Barry McKeever on the call for College of the Canyons. And if they take care of business as the #2 team in California and the Pirates finish this one off, as you would expect they would, that is going to be a monumental matchup next week. I mean, forget the Northern Conference, which will almost assuredly hang in the balance in that matchup. It's also going to be a battle for what might ultimately be the top spot in California in the rankings.
Yeah, that's going to be an incredible game next week. Maybe a preview of, well, it won't be the state championship because they're both Southern teams, but I mean, that game may be better than the state championship.
Yeah, it certainly has all kinds of preview written on it, and obviously there's a development in terms of, shall we say, eligibility involved here. So a top team in the South here is possibly not going to be eligible. And that opens things up a little bit, and it's a wide open SCFA this season. And we talked a little bit about that in our coverage of Saddleback and Orange Coast yesterday. But certainly Canyons and Ventura very much in the fold, but you got Riverside also in the South, and a couple of other teams certainly not to be left out. And who knows, before it's all said and done, we've seen crazy results across the board throughout the SCFA this season. They try to keep it on the ground, and this another loss on the play.
Yeah, Archibald had nowhere to go. Even if he makes it around the corner, he had two backers waiting for him. So maybe stay away from that play call for now if you're Moorpark.
Brett Moyer able to wrap him up for a loss of 3 on the play. And yeah, you get the feeling that the Pirates are not concerned that they're going to get beat deep here, and they are just shooting the gaps and have their ears pinned back, and they're going right into the backfield. Here they come on the blitz. Pretty good protection for Postler. Now he starts to roll, and he's got to slide down. Got back to the line. Might have even lost yardage, and he did. A couple of yards. They're going to mark it back at the 24, and it's quickly 3rd down and 15. And you have to be concerned here. Normally we talk about picking up 3rd downs, and that's important, but you got to bring Steven Gomez back out. And he's already had 2 punts blocked, and I wouldn't expect there's any reason that the Pirates are going to take the foot off the gas or not go after the next punt. There'd be little reason for them not to.
Yeah, no, especially in a rivalry game. 1-on-1 on the backside, though.
Play action, straight drop for Postler. Stepping up, nowhere to go with the ball, though. Excellent coverage, and Postler eventually just has to eat it. Managed to get back to the line, and a quick 3 and out. And here comes Gomez, who has now had a seemingly unreal 7 punts blocked on the season. And the Pirates, who in years past had quite the reputation for big plays on special teams on defense, that was the ethos of the program. It hasn't been the case so much this year, but they're making up for lost time here tonight. Gomez gets this one away. line drive kick, and Watson will take it at the 35. Circles left, trying to get the edge. Out past the 40 and taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll give him a good spot to the 45. So a 10-yard return after a 41-yard kick. And here comes the Pirate offense that already has a couple of touchdowns on the board. Apologies once again for some technical issues here in the first quarter. We hope that you have stuck with us and will stay with us here for Pirate football against Moorpark here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Well, last week it was Vanderjack in the first half and Doman in the second half, and Steve Mushagian promised that they'd be a little more creative in how they used them this week, but it's been Vanderjack so far going the route. Duckett on the pitch, gonna throw, airs it out, has a man wide open, another touchdown for the Pirates! Dominic Benson. What the arm from Duckett?
That was incredible. Let's see. I mean, that was over 50 yards probably through the air. That was incredible for Benson to be able to track that one down. I thought I was going to sail over his head for a sec.
Well, one play, 56 yards, and with 3:40 to go in the first quarter, the question starts to become, what's the Dodgers score right now? It's you know, Art's got it. But the Pirates putting on a clinic here. Well, you can't do it a whole lot better than that. And I suppose if you're a Pirate fan in this situation, you're thinking, hey, leave something for the Cougars next week.
Yeah, it looks like we may see Troy Smith come out at quarterback for Moorpark.
Yeah, 3:40 to go, and Postler's had 4 cracks at it, and Moorpark did get one first down on the opening drive, but boy, with the exception of that one very quick highlight.
Yeah, I think that may have been more luck than a highlight, really. That ball could have easily been picked off.
Yeah, it did hang in the air.
Dodgers up 2-1, top of the 5th.
Thank you, Art. Did they just miss that last one while we were discussing that? They haven't changed the scoreboard, so right now they have it at 27-0. Well, that may be the first thing that's possibly gone wrong for the Pirates. This one taken by Corso. Takes a big hit at the 20-yard line. That looked like Dondre Baker. So 3:35 to go, and will it be Troy Davis?
Yeah, the freshman out of Birmingham High School.
And it's Troy Smith, number 10, will take over on the keeper. Finds a little lane, bounces it outside. He's out near the 30-yard line. A gain of about 9 yards. And sets up a 2nd down and 1. Well, Smith is clearly going to give them a different look.
Yeah.
Going off that first play. And the Pirates will have to make an adjustment. Do a different style here. They also put Smith solo in the backfield, so no Archibald out there.
Yeah, they got a fullback, and it's almost like they run Wildcat, but with, of course, a dual-threat quarterback.
Snap to Smith. Again on the keeper, running left. Gets the edge, spins out of one tackle, and appears to have enough for a first down. Got about 1.5 yards. Williams on the stop, and already Calvin Williams, not a player that sees a ton of action, so Steve Mushagian already here in the first quarter starting to shuffle in some players, and I'm talking about there's an opportunity, if the opportunity should arise, to get some guys some good game experience. A long way to go here, but I think it's clear that the Pirates having their way. Smith gonna throw. Completes out past the 35 to the 39-yard line. 7-yard pickup.
Looks like that was to Kyle Peterson.
Peterson on the reception. Peterson comes in. 10 catches for 78 yards, so average of just under 8 yards a reception, and that seems to fit the mold. Flags come in before the snap. So the false start penalty will back him up 5, and 2nd and 3 becomes 2nd and 8. The good work from Smith is set back somewhat. So they'll stack the receivers left and right. 1:47 to go in the first quarter as the clock continues to move. Smith working behind his fullback. Straight drop. Good protection on a 4-man rush. Now Smith starts to roll. Throws on the run and completes. Terrific pass from Smith.
Fumble.
In traffic, but the ball's on the ground. The Pirates are saying they have it. And they do. So Couliar comes up with the catch, but it's stripped out, and the Pirates have another turnover. And they'll take over at their own 49-yard line. Moorpark comes in. They haven't struggled tremendously with turnovers. They're -3 in turnover differential, but this is a different story altogether here in this first quarter with this hawking Pirate defense. And they come up with another turnover, and the Pirates will have a short field as they take over at their own 49-yard line with 1:24 to go in the first quarter.
First and 10 Pirates from their own 49-yard line.
So Neese and Duckett in the backfield. Duckett didn't play last week in the victory over Bakersfield after injuring his leg late in the Fullerton game, but he's come back with a purpose here tonight. So the Pirates will back themselves up here with a penalty. Nice luxury to have with Duckett and Neese together in the backfield. Thunder and lightning. And now they'll go to just Neese. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Play action. Straight drop. Going deep again, and a man open. Another big play for the Pirates. Cut down at the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 36 yards.
And yeah, obviously busted coverage there. Is that, let's see, Noah Hamilton thought he had safety help over the top. He's pretty livid at his safety, Landon Alator.
Yeah, that was as they hand it to Neese running right and a gain of a yard or 2. Now is Doman for his first drive and a pretty good first pass as he delivers a strike. Second and 9 from the fort. And a nice push by the Raider defense on back. Come in from everywhere. And you wonder if this is more extracurriculars. Well, the Raider defense has had more success this season than the offense, led by Ivory Jackson and Drew Mathis. More talent on that side of the ball, but when an offense struggles to put points on the board, it just continues to put so much pressure on a defensive unit.
Yeah, the defense hasn't been put in
And that's Drew Mathis, who picks up the personal foul call. And really the first time we've been able to mention him tonight, and that's not how you want to get mentioned.
Yeah, but like I was saying, defense hasn't been put in good situations, but Ventura has had no trouble moving the ball. I am picking up 5 yards of play at least.
Well, Ivory Jackson comes in leading the SCFA with 10 sacks on the season, and I asked Steve Mushagian if he was aware of Ivory Jackson and who was going to have the responsibility of blocking, and he said that, sure, obviously he was aware, but this is a very talented and experienced offensive line, and he wasn't particularly concerned about it. He felt like they could handle him, and so far he's been exactly right. Haven't had much chance to call Jackson's name. Penalty assessed. Doman faking, in trouble, loses his helmet. Now he goes down back at the 15-yard line, and here come the flags as well.
It's going to be a face mask. And I think this is going to be the first time we get to call Ivory Jackson's name, but for the face mask. There you go.
Yeah, Jackson and Mathis with back-to-back penalties. That's your two leaders on defense, and instead of getting the sack, the Pirates continue to inch closer. They're now at the 3-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal. Well, you'd expect that the Raiders in this matchup were maybe going to be a little bit overmatched as the first quarter comes to a close, but it's been an incredibly frustrating opening quarter for Moorpark as well. They've had a few plays go their way, and seemingly every time they have, here comes a flag or they do something to turn that positive into a negative.
Yeah, they're out there looking like it's the first game of the season, and against Ventura, that's not going to cut it.
We head to the second quarter with Ventura in command, 27-0 over Moorpark on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Pirates with a handoff on the left side, down toward the goal line, a gain of about 2. Last week got the carry. And they'll stay with Nice and I think if you're the Pirates here. Doman on the keeper, and he takes a
a little shaken up there.
Well, that was a hit you could hear up here. Drew Mathis.
And another flag.
And this one comes in very late. Let's see what the call is. Got to believe this is going to go against Moorpark. So Drew Mathis picks up his second unsportsmanlike penalty. Well, that's just a head scratcher. And Drew Mathis obviously just a little big play there.
And now,
well, I suppose if you're looking for some good news, you're inside the 1-yard line, so it's not as though this is going to cost you a ton of yardage. As well, everybody pick up a personal foul.
Yeah, that's assistant coach Phil McPherson who got the flag for John at the ref.
And I suspect, and we have to speculate just a little bit in a situation like this, but a little celebration after it, but we never know what eventually takes place, but I didn't see anything, at first glance that, so you think maybe it says, here come more.
That'd be what's said.
Are there words? Is there some flag? Because honestly, he just looked pretty happy about the play. And okay, so this is Ivory Jackson with profanity. It's a break for Moorpark that Jackson's penalty earlier in this drive was because he's still in the game, but that's obviously it's a personal foul on him, so now he's got to watch his step. 15 to go here in the second quarter. Well, they could field a defense. They may have to go deep into their roster before it's all said.
Yeah, those are the two stars you'd pointed out, Mathis and Jackson.
And we're back to football, and Jackson takes it in. Pirates continue to pile it on. They now lead at 33-0. And will await the extra point. Placement down, kick is up. And the Pirates push it out to a 34-0 lead, 14:09 to go here in college football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Away, taken at the 5, out past the 30-yard line and out of bounds. So Corso, Raiders will take over at their own 32 early in the second quarter, and Ventura. Okay, if you're a Raider fan and you're watching this one, well, it's a good opportunity to get an extended look at Troy Smith and see what you've got. The penalty on the Pirates will take it out to the 40. Raiders will stack the receivers left and right. Smith solo in the backfield, has the snap on the keeper. Jukes his wife. Meanwhile, Smith lost his helmet. Return for Smith. Now, is that with the penalty, with the helmet coming off, he's got to come off for a play. So Postler back on. Struggle against the Pirate defense, and he comes back facing a quick screen. Peterson gets a block. He's into Pirate territory, and Lambert goes up high. Raiders move the chains to the 40.
On after the play.
Well, I started to make the point that, you know, I think the Pirates, give them a little credit here right now in an emotionally charged situation, these personal foul penalties. So they're
when you're up 34-0,
yeah.
It's a little easier to keep
well, it's interesting.
head.
We made Coast, and Saddleback was having that very problem picking it. Makes you wonder, you know, why can't you just look at the scoreboard and think, all right, you know, we're doing all the talking we need to right now, and instead motion gets to you as Archibald finds a good running lane down.
Oh yeah, I mean, Ventura's a really well-coached team, though, so you would expect for them to be all about business.
Second down and 3 of the game, and they're a team in. Yeah, Art asking if that was the first time. Smith going deep, and Watson had excellent coverage on him. I think they were in Pirate territory for just a second after the completion to Couliar
before the
back in the first quarter,
but
the immediate. So their deepest penetration into Pirate territory, certainly at the 41-yard line where they face a third, allowing opposing offenses to convert 36% on third down. A 3rd and 3 here. Smith with the snap, going to run, trying to ward off a tackler, but he won't. Owens giving a little help to Parker Neos, who was the first to get there, and that's a great job by arm from Smith. And wrapping him up. Takes it back to the 47. They're going to fake. Watson on the far side.
The fake.
Yeah, they tried to fake, and then he just play on the return by Watson. So the Pirates end up with it back at the Moorpark.
Great field position once again for Ventura. Not that it matters much. I mean, the way they've been moving the ball.
Yeah, that's short for the Pirates here tonight. Offset I formation, receivers left and right. And Doman with all kinds of running. Doman, 45 yards.
That's the second, and Doman's kept it with just no one on the all crash, following that handoff. Houses it.
and I'm constantly impressed all years since we've started covering them, but Doman may be excellent speed in the open field, Jim. Never more true, and you're talking about defensive backs that ultimately are not.
Too, but Doman shot through that hole and out in open field. No one was catching him.
41 point in the first quarter, but it bears where this score might end up before it's all said and done. You have to imagine that Steve Mushagian is going to take advantage of an opportunity here to get some of his other game, see if ultimately that makes a difference. But right now, if my memory is wrong, that was another one-play scoring drive. They had an earlier one as well with Duckett, a touchdown pass to Dominic Benson. So these are just ripping off huge plays for touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, it's too easy.
It's getting a little 7-on-7 feel to it, I think.
One-sided.
So 40, and the approach and the kick away. Taken at the 13, out to the 30, 35. Comes in after Peterson returns at 25 yards to the 38-yard line. So the Raiders back on offense, and the officials are going to huddle out the recent flag again. East Los Angeles College at College of the Canyons. Another matchup in the north. Two flags against Moorpark on the play, and
both of them
yardage here in the first half, and that's another stark contrast. Struggling with penalties at all. They'll take the illegal block in the back. So this will back them up all the way to the 10-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Blitz coming to the 16-yard line.
The Raiders had numbers on that screen, but just a missed block on the corner. That was
Well, what's your read on Smith? We've seen him for a few drives now. Obviously, this is a trying situation.
His one pass attempt downfield on the scramble. Great ball placement, so I'm surprised that
he'll roll to his left, throw again on the run. This one, well, it's hard to say. I thought it was overthrown, but actually incomplete. He was looking for Boucher.
Or at least the routes by the receivers, because you should never have a play where two different receivers can get their hands on the ball.
Yeah.
Gotta spread the defense out more than that.
Not sure who he was shooting for there, but I'll tell you, a straight drop and really throw one downfield, see what we're talking. He's throwing a couple of bullets on the run so far, 3rd down and 4. Back foot, and has a man on the 43-yard line. Well, they'll spot it at the 40. Nonetheless, it's a pick. Archibald out of the backfield. In fact, I think they had him split out wide on that play, but ends up. And a 1st down. Archibald on corner, and he lowers the shoulder, taken out of bounds after a pickup of 2 or 3. Halo with the stop and a 3-yard run for Archibald.
I think you got to keep the ball in Smith's hands right now because, he's incredible accuracy. Has not been able to do anything against Ventura. So
Raiders back home next week against Long Beach City College, and it's a time to think about Smith getting a start. Playing in a 1-5 season and trailing this one big, who's popped immediately.
Play recognition by Brett Moyer.
Moyer really
coming
dropping
off the line,
hammer there
on the screen.
Yep. One thing I think you have to be impressed about the Pirates defensively, and this is year after year, always have, and Moyer's another guy who fits that mold replay, and looking to hit somebody, which is what you like in a linebacker too. 3rd down and 6. Some move, but then the Raiders moved, and you expect this is going to back the Raiders up 5 yards.
Yeah, the Raiders could have had a free play there, but center did not recognize the defensive line was offside. 3-run home run by Puig. I don't know if you heard that, Jeff.
Yeah, 5-1 now, Dodgers.
5-1.
Hopefully we're not giving away to somebody who's recording the game. You watch it later. So let's correct that, and 3rd and 6 becomes 3rd and 1, but perhaps a missed opportunity for Moorpark. Ultimately there could have had a free play. But instead they settle for the 5-yard. Off tackle on the left side, and he's got on the stop. But Smith moves the chains, and it's hard to tell, obviously, even in the second quarter here, the bend but don't break. Don't want to give up any silly big play, this huge lead of 41-0. You just want to keep the game moving at this point. But again, Smith, some nice tools running the ball. And he's shown a good arm. Straight drop here. Good protection over the middle. Boucher with a sensational grab, but he can't.
Ball placement by Smith, but hold on through contact with the ground.
Well, Boucher, well downfield. He averages only 9.6 yards, pretty much like a straight fly. Right down that high, and Boucher almost made a highlight reel grab, but couldn't come down with it, and it's 2nd and 10. Smith has the snap, delayed, wrapped up, still on his feet. Smith starts to scramble. He's down to the 44-yard line of Ventura. It's a 4-yard run at the athleticism of Smith on this That's just unbelievable.
Blocking, it looks like. And resulted in his helmet coming off.
So instead of a 4-yard gain, it'll be another penalty on the Raiders. You may never get a better opportunity for a sack than you just had, but Smith just will not go down. A dead ball foul as well.
It was unnecessary roughness, and it was just
something to go right, and I suppose you have to commend the fact that at the center of this, of some of these penalties, is just a desire to play as hard as you possibly can. Team where they're completely overmatched, it would appear, in every metric in terms of football, and just trying to make something. It's Smith who manages to dump it off, but no gain on the play.
Had a hole, but he got tripped up by his lineman.
So 3rd and 20. Yeah.
Good job by Smith, though, to get. Yeah. He had someone flying in his face, and he's got that little sidearm delivery, able to get it off.
Well, and I think it also speaks to the fact that, I think Smith, here's a young man studying, and he knows, where he's supposed to go in that, and, who his receiver is in a blitz situation. And I think it's into the pocket, completes the pass on the far side into Pirate territory, down at the 47 yardage, but it does set up what would be a 4th and 9, and you have to think at this point almost what reason would there be not to go for it if you're Moorpark.
That was cool. Looks like he may have one-on-one coverage on the backside. May want to go back to him.
Yeah, over on the far side.
Yeah, the safety's on the hat. Not a bad look.
So they will line up to go for it on 4th and 8. Smith with time on the run, sideline pass, pops in the air, and it's intercepted. And this may be a touchdown. It will be going on J-Lo.
That was a receiver. Could not hang on to it. Sliding catch, but
take a look at the replay, and well, and then there's just getting a little unlucky, and that ball J-Lo does the rest. The Pirates just scoring every which way you can here in this first half, and it's 47-0. Well, we've seen specials running the ball, passing the ball.
Yeah, not many more ways you can score.
48-0. 6:29 to go here in the first half. You're watching Ventura College Football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. $48-0. 6:29 to go. And the kick taken at the 10, at the 30. Flags on the return. The ball's loose. It looked
another flag. I'm sure this one's going to be on Moorpark.
The Raiders do have the ball. Yeah, you got to believe. Well, if history is any indicator, the Raiders continue to struggle with penalties, and this a hold on the return. So this will be inside their own 20 as they continue to walk it off from around the SCFA. As we move forward, of course, you can check out the East Los Angeles College of the Canyons matchup. 2 team in the SCFA. He's, yeah, number 2 team in the SCFA in the most recent poll. Is faring in their conference matchups. Able to wriggle out. Now he's just going to tuck it and run and heads out of bounds. Carl. So 2nd down and 8. Backs. Setting up the screen to the near pickup of a couple of yards again. Corso on the reception, and he got the 15, and here comes.
This is getting ridiculous now.
Let's see if the Raiders are backing themselves up here on a 3rd down and 5.
Wow.
No, this is going to go against Ventura. So now the Pirates getting into the act. So that'll take it out to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. And the Raiders will go back to work with Archibald.
See, one-on-one on the backside. No, someone drops.
Smith looking. Still in trouble, but manages to again looking for Corso, and it's broken up for a moment. Looked like he had Corso, but Isaiah Bates.
But once again, Smith extends the play.
Two plays now where on this drive where Smith has been in all kinds of trouble, but they haven't been able. Smith, again, looking inside the 20, wasn't getting away that time.
And yeah, this is more hated by Ventura.
Well, that was Giovanni Rodriguez getting into the action. And a nice job by Rodriguez planting Smith. The sack. Yeah, the Raiders on the season, 22 sacks, and their quarterbacks had been sacked just 10 times. So protecting, again, you know, you step it up this last couple weeks with the. And having a struggle here tonight. Smith with a straight drop, guns it on the near side, but it's incomplete.
Just underthrows it.
And the Raiders, after a brief glimmer, after the personal foul penalty, can go a blocked punts already here in this first half. For those who might be just joining us. To await this punt at midfield, high snap. Gomez has this one blocked. There's a scramble for it, no signal yet. Midfield, it's a touchdown. So the penalty out near midfield. Carlson with the block. Now let's see if we can get you very quickly over to the
same pressure Ventura showed when they blocked the first punt, and now they send the same blitz through down the middle. It's the same one Moorpark ran too.
So the officials are sorting out the flag. Meanwhile, two blocked punts for touchdowns in the first half. This one, courtesy Trenton Carlson. And which is getting hard to do anymore in this first half. There's a flag against Moorpark. And
yeah,
Ventura.
Offsetting
personal foul. And here comes the kicking team for the Pirates to try and tack on the. Here's the snap. And kick is up and good. So Continente puts it through. And with now leading at 55-0 here on. half. And that is not an error on the scoreboard. Ventura dominate a couple of special teams touchdowns, a defensive touchdown. They've run it, they've thrown it, and they've gotten more than a little help from the Raiders themselves in the form of turnovers it can get. And if you're for the Raiders here, I think you're just trying to salvage something in the way, something positive. Try and find Peterson out past the 30, and I'm looking. It looks like there isn't. That was Corso on the return. Let's just quickly correct that. So out to the 32-yard line, and that's this Raider offense. We'll go to work, and if you're a Raider fan here, you just like to see him get on the board, maybe get something, any kind of positive.
But no result yet.
Well, it'll be interesting to see in the coming weeks if it's Smith getters, and you see moving in the upcoming weeks, the give to the up back, pushing the pile out past the 35 to the 37. St. Pierre with the carry, and haven't seen a lot of that this season. Imagine gonna pull out all the stops here, try anything and everything. Why not? I formation behind Smith, working under center now. The give off tackle on the left side. With just his second carry tonight, and it's good for 7 yards, and it's out to the 44-yard line.
Finally, a little momentum for the Raiders offense. Going with this power look.
Well, as much as the Raiders have struggled in the entire game against Canyons last week, and I think they're on pace to better that number here tonight, even as lopsided as this score is. And I think, again, you chalk that up a lot to the boost that's first downs have come since he came in late in the first quarter. 2nd down and 8, 2:52 to go. Well, what do you even begin to say to your team at halftime in a 55-0 game?
I mean, you just gotta fight to, keep some going down 55-0. And you gotta put
play action. Smith in trouble. Now just heaves it out of play. Pressure. As we say, at least statistically, the Raiders have been fairly good protecting the quarterback this season. So the Pirates doing a good job of bringing pressure, and often bringing pressure without doing a lot of blitzing. Down an 8, 2:27 to go. The backfield with Tilley. Interesting that Smith worked in what looked like a wildcat type formation. Now he's working under center, so really switching things up and how they're using him in a false.
Yeah, this may bring him back to the shotgun look.
Well, Couliar has been able to get free for a couple of catches here in this first half. That's been about it in terms of wideouts for the Raiders. Play action, Smith with a deep drop, good protection, steps up, airs it out, but double coverage, and this is going to be.
Yeah, that's the first real misstep Smith's made at quarterback.
No, Couliar was the intended receiver, but he was bracketed on both sides, squeezed that one in, and instead it's 4th down, and now with under 2 minutes to go, here comes Gomez, and it's been a house of horrors for Stephen Gomez here in this first half.
So a little bit of a change. See if the Raiders can pick up the pressure this time.
High snap. Here they come, but Gomez gets this one away. 18. Circles right, picks up a block. He's out past the 25. And that was Sanchez on the return.
Offsides.
So a flag on the play. The flag back in Moorpark territory near the. Looks like the Pirates are perhaps in a small move of mercy are just going to take the play and not make them re-kick. Hunting has gone for Moorpark so far would be a questionable decision strategically if you're the Pirates, but obviously at a certain point,
True.
you just keep the game moving here, and I think
Carry, so.
yeah.
But, of course, with the struggles Moorpark's had punting to get a chance.
Yeah. From the 33, 1st and 10. Brown on the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 6.
Ethan Foster's pass complete to number 11, Lorenzo Bernardi. Brought down by number 21, Brandon Jordan.
And is that Van?
It looks like it's Vanderjack.
So Vanderjack back on. 3 wide receivers to the second and a long 3 from just inside the 39-yard line. Straight drop. Vanderjack looking left under pressure. Out to the 44-yard line. Back to Brown. In on the stop. Quick screen. Again, Vanderjack's down marker, and it appears to have it. Is that Brown again?
Yeah.
So
Pirates
Brown,
just getting
3 straight receptions.
Vanderjack's pass complete to number 11, Antonio Brown.
Back into Moorpark territory at the 43-yard line. Those come in before the snap. Down to 46 seconds to go in the first half. And the Pirates with all 3 timeouts, but not sure.
at this rate.
Straight drop for Vanderjack. 4-man rush. Under pressure, and the pass incomplete.
Corey Patterson was going to have a little room to run if he was able to bring that one in, but Vanderjack under pressure can't quite get it on his numbers.
Yeah, it looked like he had a Moorpark player in his passing lane, and I think he had to lead Patterson a little too much. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Fakes. Hit as he throws, but gets it off on the far sideline and back to Patterson, very near the first down marker. And well, they started to move him. And it looks like he is just short, down to 30 seconds. So 3rd and inches. Jackson on the carry. Down to the 16 or the 21-yard line, 21 seconds and counting. And the Pirates are not going to use timeouts at all here. Might have time for one more play. Play action. Vanderjack off his receiver's hands and incomplete half. Looked like Brooks was the intended receiver.
Yeah. The receiver was
Well,
open.
they're saying it was Patterson, but I thought that was... No, it was Patterson. Okay.
Yeah, Patterson was open, but Moorpark even had a chance to bring it down, but...
Play of the first quarter.
First half.
First half, I should say. Thank you. And Vanderjack from the 21 of Moorpark has the snap. 3 into the end zone, tipped and incomplete. So the Pirates can't still, well in control, leading this one on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the second half here from the VC Sportsplex all over Moorpark, looking to stay perfect here in 2018 in their conference schedule. Coming in with a record of 5-1, and of course IA matchup next weekend against College 21-9 over East Los Angeles College, trying to stay unbeaten, and that is looking like a titanic matchup. And Ryan, so might have had the Pirates have stayed focused on hand.
Yeah, this is a nice little tune-up for Ventura going into the Canyons matchup next week. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they needed to come in focused the way.
I know that they needed to be at their best here, but back deep. And here's the kick, and we are underway in the third quarter. Oh, a big return into the clear. The Pirates with another big. Benson's going to go to the house.
Wow. Add the return touchdown to the
well, there's a
bingo card.
And then just picks it up, finds a lane. Benson, 95 yards. Those of you keeping track of such things, that's the second special teams touchdown to go along with it. It's 61-0. And how about the night year with 4 touchdowns in 9 catches, and he's got a touchdown for a touchdown as well. So Dom is getting back to what he
has
been battling injury.
He's an explosive athlete and show.
Well, that didn't take long. Continente did nothing, 14-40, and on a night of big plays that see 2 one-play scoring drives. Now you can throw in a kick return for 95 yards, and this is unbelievable, Ryan.
What you say if you're Moorpark at this point? It's abysmal.
Oh, I know this. They're asking what the COC 36-3. So, yeah, going back, I see where your mind's going here, Art. Over the last 6 quarters, it's 98-3 that Moorpark has been. And this has been a tough. Peterson. Corso, rather, at the 10, makes a little move out past the 35 and to the 40-yard line. Turn, and Moorpark will start at their own left. Are the Raiders going to get on the board here? Can they manage to get into the end zone?
Looks like it's going to be Postler going in.
So Postler will start the third quarter, and we'll see if ultimately we see Smith again before the night is over. So Postler with an I formation behind him. Setting up the screen, finds Boucher. Boucher is a yard on the tackle. We can report 1 score, El Camino all over Mount Sac.
So face mask call that will give the Raiders 15 yards and put them in Ventura territory.
So a penalty against the Pirates, and they'll spot it at the 44. And Postler back to work. From the shotgun, straight drop, looking all, and it's incomplete. Well, that was, it looked like a fly pattern to Archibald, and they ate half and went back to that play, but that time the Pirates.
Runs a wheel out of the backfield, but it's well covered, and the ball was actually thrown out of bounds, so no chance of bringing that one down.
Second down and straight drop for Postler. Deep drop, has time. Going back to the same spot, but this time nobody home. Archibald had broken off his route, and it was
miscommunication. Boucher, but I think Postler was convinced he was going deep. I don't know.
Well,
there's no one within at least 10 yards of that.
Number of things for the Raiders so far tonight in this matchup, and not on the same page there. Now a 3rd and 10. Postler looking left again, and this is the same kind of pass, and this one, Shea was in the area. But again, he had broken off his route, but he might have run into a defender.
He got held up coming out, and it looks like that's going to be the penalty there.
So a flag down the ball. So a 3rd down and 12. And Postler under center for the middle, and it's incomplete.
Ball. I think Jeremiah Nunnery got a hand on it. But Postler almost fitting in a window to Corso.
He was
Would've
looking
had a first down.
Yeah, he was looking for Corso. That'll bring up 4th down from the 19 up to go for it. They'll have Corso in the backfield. Now Corso will send Postler out wide and take the snap. Kick from Corso, end over end, and this takes a good kick, 2-yard line. 49-yard kick for Corso, 32 with 6:30 to go. We're getting the word Kershaw's pitching the 9th. 21 lead at Mount Sac. .com fans will know that I was talking about Mount Sac being a possible player for a deep playoff run. There's the jinx.
You done that tonight?
Nor in my life. So Pinkston back on, dual setbacks on 1st and 10. Gut churning his legs. He's out past the 30.
Yeah, the Raiders haven't had an answer for the option all night. The quarterbacks have just been running wild against this Raider defense.
2nd down and 4 coming up with the stop on Pinkston. So a 2nd and 4. They send a man in motion. Is taken down for a loss on the play. Back at the 35, flag down.
Yeah, I think he got a pretty good grab of his face mask on that one.
Jackson, a 4-yard loss, but this is likely going to be heading back the other way with a penalty coming on Moorpark. 15-yard penalty. It was Ivory Jackson, and Jackson, I think, excited to make anything happen on defense. He's had an incredible hit on Jackson. That's the good news, but gets a little. And the 15 yards will take it to the Moorpark 47, where it'll be 1st and 10. 3 wide receivers. Is it out, and that one nearly picked off.
Yeah, Ventura's been throwing those screens all game, and finally Moorpark has the guts to jump one.
Yeah, it was Chong who was reading that play and step short.
Yeah, I expect Ventura to come back and maybe have a double move off that. And
yeah, 2nd down and 10.
Free.
Mm-hmm. And Chong was thinking pick 6. They keep it on the ground on 2nd and 10, straight up the middle for a gain of about 3. Jackson down to the 44. LaPola for a 3-yard pickup and a 3rd down and 7 up. They'll bunch it up on 4-man rush. Has time, quick out over on the far side. Gaetan with the reception. He had a big catch in the first half.
Well, great route on that play. I mean, gave Pinkston a mile to fit that ball into.
Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd, and another systematic, methodical drive by Pinkston. Has the 1st down and 10, dual setbacks. Looking left, dumps it off and completes inside the 30.
Flags.
Back to Gaetan. Gain of about 4 to the 29. Call it 5 to the 28, but let's see what the flag is. No foul. They'll pick up the flag. And 2nd down and 5 from the 28-yard line. Now we're ready. As the snap. Quick throw, complete. Thompson with his first reception tonight. Chong on the stop. 9-yard, or I should say a 4-yard gain, and it's a 3rd and 1. Quick snap, trying to reverse, still looking for a lane. Breaks another tap, spins forward. And I think Golar ran about 20 yards for a gain of 1.
but I think it's going to be worth it.
Yeah,
He'll
I
pick
think
up
it's
the first down.
right on the stop. And Golar, with a tremendous effort, spun out of a couple of tackles, 1 yard pickup, and they moved the chains, 1st and 10 from the Moorpark 23. Another time-consuming drive for the Pirates. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third. And the counter. Jackson slides down after Dylan Fuentes able to bring him down.
Ventura just set out in the second half to methodically move the ball, and that's exactly what they're doing. And a little resistant ball at will all game, and their line's continuing to do it here.
Yeah, well, they're winning the battle up front, and that's not a big surprise. And when you can do that, you got some news?
Dodgers win.
In L.A. Now I think the crowd's getting the word. Play action and a completion on the square in down to the 14-yard line.
Now, Ivory Jackson's going to come off injured for the Raiders. It's another big defensive loss they've suffered today.
Gaitan with a – they have it at 3rd and 1, but, oh, yeah, 1 from the 13-yard line of Moorpark. Offset I formation as Pinkston looks over the Raider defense. Has the snap, pitches it out. A dive for the marker. And it'll come down to the spot. It looks like Turner forces him out of bounds, but Jackson picks up the yard.
Once again, that option play.
So a 12-yard, or I should say, for Ventura, as this drive continues. 2:13 remaining in the third quarter is the clock option. After a gain of 4, Shelton on the stop again. From the 8 of Moorpark. Dual snap. Keeps it again. Picks his way forward. He's inside the 5. Very close to the first down marker. This is about 2 a first down, 3rd down, and less than a yard from the 3. Snap to Pinkston. They fake the handoff again, and this time Pinkston is crushed. And that'll bring up 4th
time. He tries to pull it and nowhere to go.
Turner laying the wood on Pinkston. So on a 4th and 2, Steve Mushagi. Or no, is this just mass changes? Nope, they're going to attempt the field goal.
But you got the 3rd-string quarterback in, so he stays on to hold.
All right. Mind, and we'll see. Field goal. It'll be a 21-yard attempt from the left hash. Kick is up. And no good. Pirates have missed a couple of field goals here in the third quarter. And, you know, kicking has been a real strength for the Pirates going back over the last few years. Continente has do the job, hitting 3 field goals last week, but now a miss here. And boy, when you talk about a program playing at this level like the Pirates and potentially being in the postseason and vying, a kicking game can end up making a huge maybe how that ends up going, and you hope for the best if you're a Pirate fan.
Yeah, it's always hard to find a good kicker, especially in junior college football where there's such a quick turnover. And even though there's some kids who come to play quarterback at junior college, not as many.
Meanwhile, power running for the Raiders, pushing the pile. St. Pierre out near the 40-yard line. Carlson eventually drags him down, but not before.
St. Pierre's been heavily featured in the second half, and rightfully.
And they go to him again, and again he moves the pile out past the 40 to the 44. 5-yard gain on what will be the final play of the third quarter. We'll head to the 4th. Ventura all over Moorpark 62-7. It's Ventura College football on SoCal. 62-7 lead for Ventura. 2nd down and 5 from the Moorpark 44. Postler fakes, swings it out to Archibald. Archibald looks down into Pirate territory.
But it's coming back on the perimeter.
So take the 1st down off the board, and instead the Raiders backing themselves up again in the 2nd half, but still you're looking at approaching 20 before it's all said and done. And again, in a game where they needed to be nothing less than perfect if they hope to compete, it hasn't worked out that way. And situation, you were looking for some positives in St. Pierre. Certainly what you saw from Smith in the 1st half. I think a little reason for optimism for the Raiders moving forward to ultimately make a better showing than they have here tonight before the snap, and expect that the Raiders will be backed up a little bit more.
Yeah, no reason for a receiver to false start either. You should be.
So it moves to 2nd down and 12 after the 5-yard penalty. Going to try and give you one more trip around to look at a couple of scores from around the inaction against College of the Desert, taking on East Los Angeles College. Check out all those games. Postler hit as he throws, but it's a big hit at the 46-yard line. So St. Pierre gets back 9 yards, and a 3rd and 3 coming up. Carlson had the big hit on St. Pierre. Flags on the snap, and looked like the Pirates jumped.
And that's the 3rd fumbled snap that the Raiders have hard count. And usually that's run out of a shotgun formation. It's a little easier for the quarterback to receive the ball unexpected.
Well, they'll still get the 5 yards, but again, I think to your point,
you don't
like
get
to
the
see a little
play.
cleaner, give yourself.
And you don't want people diving around the knees and lower extremity. Try to keep that ball off the ground.
The Pirates, or I should say the Raiders, now have the ball in Pirate territory at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Play action, straight drop, steps up, and the pass is picked off. The Pirates with another forced turnover down the near side. Done play, but what a play by Baker. Watch the replay here while they sort out the flag, and I tell you, Ryan.
Yeah, it just drops into coverage, and quarterback doesn't see him. He wouldn't have taken it back the distance if it wasn't for a holder blocking the.
Big man. Sometimes we see defensive backs back there, and don't show the good hands, but there you got the linebacker Dondre Baker in the backfield. But let's see what the penalty is right now. Goes as a touchdown, but they're still against Ventura. So the Pirates take the Baker interception, the board, and I guess it's pretty nice play, but
you can still put it on the highlight tape.
Doesn't get the touchdown. Well, he gets the interception, but he doesn't get the touchdown. The Pirates do have it. Pinkston back at the controls, a handoff, and a gain of maybe down. Well, I've lost track of the turnovers, but I want to say it's 4 now for Moorpark in the game. I double check our stats, but the Pirates, I'm going to talk about a game where you've excelled in all areas, the special teams, defensively, offensively. At halftime, which is, they haven't even really played that well offensively, really, this game, and that's the scary thought if you're a fan of other teams here in the SCFA, but really quite measured up compared to the other ones. It's the offense. And they've put in a few touchdowns, so it's not as though they've done nothing. Quick screen. 5 to the 36. That's a game. Patterson with the reception. Chong on the stop. After the penalty and the completion to Patterson. Pinkston looking left. Pumps. Now play for the Pirates. Broken tackle at the 30. The Pirates with another 1st down, and now into Moorpark territory at the 34.
There's defense, and Pinkston does a great job finding the hole in the coverage. And
Golar ended up with the reception there, and that's a testament to Pinkston. What a job. He's looking left, move a little bit to his right, come back to the right, and find Golar of Moorpark. Now they'll sweep to the near side with Jackson around the corner. 2 flags now on the play. The opposite number. That was DJ Turner.
Yeah, there's going to be offsetting penalties here, though.
There's going to be a hold.
There was a hold initially, and then.
Well, it ended up being a gain of about 7 yards. But we'll wait and see what the flag is. 11:49 to go in the ball game. Massive matchup here as Ventura and College of the Canyons will meet. An awful lot on the line. We'll have the entire SoCal College sports team there, and we can't wait to have you join us. And a game that almost certainly will put one team in the playoffs.
Yeah,
right there.
Essentially conference championship, and then that may be for first place in the.
Who's undefeated. If they can get that win next week, they would to playing at home for as long as they're around.
Yeah, but that's a big resume builder if Ventura is able to go over to Canyons and pull off that upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of an upset. I mean, I think it's
close to being undefeated themselves. They had a lead of 8 points in the fourth quarter against Fullerton and just let that one slip away. But they're in 10 now after the offsetting penalties. And Lara on the carry. Dropped for a loss of a yard. Lapolo. So a loss of a yard brings up 2nd down and 11. Receivers to the right. Gives to Golar straight up the middle. Good push from the offensive line, and gain of about 4. And a Mike Anthony Monette with the tackle. So Pinkston with no huddle quickly to the line. Protection, Pinkston rolling right, still looking. Now hit as he throws. The Raiders on that play, nowhere to go for pick. Now 4th and 7 from here, Ryan. I think we're going to see the Pirates go for it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you make those first 2 field goals, it's a easy call to kick another, but 25.
Give Pinkston a chance. He's got receivers left and right. Straight drop, has time, but this pass. Sanchez, the intended target, but I think he would have needed to be about make the catch, I think, on that one. So the Pirates come up empty on. Interestingly, this season, somewhat uncharacteristically, not terribly good on 4th down. With that miss on 4th down, they're now 3 of 11 on 4th down for the season. So with 10:23 to go, I suppose for the Raiders.
Defense is not giving up. I know Ventura, but still, good to see some fight.
And Smith has returned. Dumps it short and complete. That's the 35 to the 39-yard line. Yeah, Lipkin forced out by Tate, but not before a 15-yard pickup, and the Raiders another look here in the second half. In the first half, Smith went 8 for 16, 76 yards, did throw an interception. Designed roll, Moyer giving chase, but Smith picks up a block, well out of play. And I'll tell you, Troy Smith rolled that arm, I think, a little bit right now. He's got a cannon, but it's a little wild.
Yeah, definitely a loose cannon back there right now.
Well, it's not even. Would that it were just the decisions, which are so important. I think he's been for most of his passes. He's got a good sense for that, but you never quite know where that ball is going to go. But Smith has shown flashes tonight, to be sure. 2nd and 10, empty backfield. Straight drop blitz coming. They set up at the 40. And the Raiders all the way down to the 43.
It's coming back, though. That's illegal motion.
Flags on the play and after the play. Elijah.
And you had a Raider come onto the field from the sideline.
What everything else we've seen. That takes a tremendous index to catch and pushes the pile all the way to the Pirate 42. That's a gain of 19 yards, but it's going to be all for naught as this play is almost assuredly coming back.
Yeah, Creation was moving forward.
Looks like. So a 2nd and 10 will become a 2nd and longer. 9:38 to go in the ball. something to encapsulate the night. That is truly what you've seen from a Moorpark standpoint. Anytime it seems that something positive to take away what few positives they've really been able to find tonight.
Yeah, and then they're able to manage to screw it up twice on that play and
the
really
ball,
pin themselves deep.
Yeah, they're in 30. Smith, deep drop. It's going to be a loss on the play. Moyer was not fooled.
Yeah, Tawan Funch is the running back out the screen there, and he's good in space, but doesn't have a chance to get started. Great recognition by Ventura once again.
We'll talk a little bit about, when we see some screens that are really well designed. A lot of screenplays, especially in our coverage here from an offensive standpoint. What's the key? What do you do that makes the screen be successful versus something like that where the defense was clearly right on it?
Well, of course, if you're killing the quarterback faster and faster, and that's when they lose threatened by the deep ball. So Moorpark just hasn't had any luck with the screen today. Right.
So it's a read type situation from a defense, and the more successful you can be to get them out of the reads and get them going.
Yeah, you got to as a lineman, you got to realize when it's a little too easy to get into the backfield and
time here is there's another penalty on the Smith scramble. From an offensive line standpoint, so that's a play that that read or from a wide receiver standpoint, if the play's coming to you, how do you talk a little bit about how that play?
For the offensive lineman, you got to sell for. I mean, there's a couple different kind of screens. There's ones where you're just slipping the defensive lineman. That's often on tunnel screens to the outside receivers, where you don't have to fake block at all. You're just trying to get out, like the one we just saw. That's when you have to fake man and engage at linebacker.
Right. So if that doesn't happen, or if you give that away a little too early, that's where you see the defense.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to sell the pass block good enough. Quarterback has to sell the drop, and running back has to sell like they're going to block.
Meanwhile, after another penalty, it is now flushed back to the screen. Leave again, this time with the reception. Not quite as successful. 17-yard line, a gain of 9 yards, I should say. Yeah. Well, we talk about what we might see from Moorpark moving forward in the coming weeks and the struggles that Gomez is having with a number of block punts. Again tonight, I believe it's 7 or 8 block punts on the season, and you wonder at what point do they that, but ultimately it's Corso that gets it out inside the 45-yard line of Moorpark, and another flag down with 7:37 to go. But you got to be thinking a little bit of it at this point. It's like maybe we should quick kick all the time.
Yeah.
For the flag. And a 62-7 lead for the Pirates. And I think if you're Steve Mushagian, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. His teams for a team, every team is at this point in the season.
Yeah.
He gets his guys a pretty good, almost what functions as almost a bye week for him. And the guys,
basically.
You got guys like Thomas Duckett who are battling little nagging injuries. Guys like Hayden Neese that I think take a pounding throughout the season. And to get those guys some rest, that's obviously going to happen.
Yeah, it's always great when you can wake up Sunday morning and you're, for lack of a better term.
So the penalty working against Ventura. So this will take the Pirates back into their own territory. We're midway through the fourth. Scores from around the SCFA. Earlier today, Riverside with a win at Golden West. And the Tigers continue their winning ways, a 24-6 win. I expect that we'll see Pitt back after the loss to Saddleback last week, a 37-20 win at Grossmont. Long Beach and the Gades get the 22-17 win, bouncing back after a loss last week to Ventura. Gain of perhaps a yard or two. Turner with the tackle. Canyons in the fourth, leading 31-9, so the Cougars Mount Sac all the way back. They're in the fourth. They lead El Camino 41-38. Well, listen, my jinx is pretty powerful, but evidently there's only so much I can do.
There's still time left. Get the double jinx in.
Golar running. Ivory Jackson able to string that play out and bring Golar down, but we do have a player down, and it looks like it might be Jackson. But Jackson starting to get up. 6:47 to go in the ball game. Ventura in command here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And Pinkston rolling right, throws on the run, and that one nearly picked off. He was looking for Brooks. So and the Pirates with a quick 3 and out. And that's something we haven't seen too much.
Yeah. Yeah, the Moorpark defense really.
That's a former Moorpark bitterness in your voice. You got, you know, if it's your alma mater, you're allowed to say it. Corso back deep for the kick from Hensey. 6:32 remaining in the game, and Ventura. How hard is that to avoid? You know, when you're so far in front in a game, and
yeah, I mean, especially as you're 55 minutes into the game.
Ian Hensey almost forgot he had punting duties tonight. So Hensey waits back at his good kick. Corso going to let this one bounce. And it takes a Moorpark bounce back to the 27-yard line. But a kick of 39 yards. On Canyons and Ventura.
There you go.
Picking that one. I'd ask Art what his pick is, but I'm going to ask him who he thinks is going to win the World Series. I think that's the more relevant question for. Aha! Another piece of the puzzle falls into place. Smith is in. Lipkin with the catch, out near the first down marker. And they're going to pick it up. So an 11-yard completion, Smith to Lipkin. Pick up a quick first down. Doritos all over San Diego Mesa. Late in the fourth. Smith guns it on the far side, tipped in the air, and I believe it's intercepted. The Pirates think they've got it. So the interception by Williams. Calvin Williams off the deflection, makes the interception, and the Pirates take over at the 45-yard line of Moorpark.
A little too hard here, trying to make something happen late.
From standpoint, you know, I don't think that Postler and Smith necessarily throw the same velocity from a receiver standpoint.
Also,
catching from different quarterbacks.
Also, Smith being a lefty, the spin of the ball is you wouldn't think it's a difference, but the tail.
Yeah, the ball will have a little different feel. You know, you serve from a righty, serve from a lefty. It's
but
3 up for the Pirates as we wind down toward 5 minutes to go. It's an impressive win for Cerritos. Are well on their way to a win, and you wonder how put 50 points on the board. He is having as the Pirates appear to pick up another first down. Exactly 5 minutes remaining. So the 15-yard penalty, grabbing the face. And down to that right there has them very close to 200 penalty yards.
Easily.
Going to the inner, that's a sort of guesstimate. It's all feel. 1st and 10 from the 22. Inside the 15, down to the 11. It was Gaitan on the carry. Gaitan with a few catches tonight. Now gets a run for Gaitan and another first down. Him in the backfield. Pinkston with the left, trying to bounce it back to the right, looking for the edge. He picks up a block. He's inside the 10, forced out at the 7. Flags down on the play.
That's going to be an illegal hit. A huge block ball. Dangerous plays.
The crackback.
Yep.
Catch the replay on that one. Owned. But bounces it back, and there's the block. And oh, that is and indeed dangerous type of play. And it's going to cost the Pirates 15. So take it back to the 26. 25. They can pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown. Inside the 1. Golar will remain in the game. 3 wide receivers to the near side for the Pirates. A little trouble on the exchange. Right. And picks his way forward down to the 20-yard line. 6-yard run. Under 4 minutes to go. Pass along some special thanks, as always, to Mike Cepeda, helping to produce the broadcast tonight. Matt Henson, technical support as well, and we always appreciate all the help that we Jorge Cepeda, members of the SoCal College sports team, all working together. Picked back at the 28-yard line, and just have to get rid of that football. I know it's doesn't have a lot to do there. Everybody well covered, but Valawaga ends up wrapping him up for a pretty major loss on the play.
It may want to just sling that out of the back of the end zone. Or
well, it's tough when you're in the pocket, though, I
Yeah.
suppose, is what throw. I suppose if you're looking also for Pinkston, it's good to give away the football. 3rd down and 25, empty backfield. Completes this one over the middle. Going to be well short of first down yardage with his first catch tonight. And a 4th down and 15 coming up for the Pirates with 2 up to go for it. Want to thank Art Gilbreth on camera, as always. Mary McDonough, as possible. Our appreciation and thanks. Puts this one up for grabs, and it's broken up, incomplete. 1 on the near side.
yeah, I could have used a little better ball placement on the throw, but yeah, one.
Yeah, he couldn't come down with it on the jump ball, and the Raiders will get it back with 1:44 to go. Next week, 1 game on SoCal College Ventura in a massive matchup. Of course, you can find all our games by searching for our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube, and of course archived on U1. And you can watch the game at any time, see what you might have missed, just as long as YouTube is around. That's our promise.
So probably fitting for this game, Moorpark goes and lines up, and they have to call a timeout because they're missing a quarterback.
Yeah, I think stretches. Quarterback's been one of the positions, and I thought that Postler settled down and played a better second half, and I think offensively they ran the ball a little bit in that second. To what degree the Pirates kind of took the foot off the gas and
Yeah, of
got
course.
some guys in there as well. But the Raiders will fall to 1-6. Return home to take on Long Beach City College. Well, a botched handoff and Page, and now he just falls forward to the 21-yard line. Well, we didn't exactly get a scintillating battle, but
It's always nice to come out to Ventura.
yeah, and then you got to look at the alma mater there. You might have hoped to happen a handoff, and the Raiders are out and get off the field. Let the teams get out of here. Decided long ago.
Yeah, I think this was decided within the first 3 minutes.
It really was. Loss on the play, and another misdirection play. This one going to Tilly, and those plays, they were on that play as we're down to 30. And there is about a 2-second difference. So the Raiders are going to have to do something here, I guess, on 4th down. And
It looks like they'll let them run the clock out.
will not make the Raiders run another play. It's gone final. The Pirates very impressive season to 6-1, 2-0 in conference, and they get ready for the showdown with SoCal College Sports.com. Sports.com. I am Jeff Stoynoff. Thanks so much. Next week at College of the Canyon. So long.